15 degrees, you can see your breath. Out here in the lake effect, breaking tables like it's poetry. Where else would you rather be? Pinto, Ron, Elvis, and the Lay Poncho. The members that you need to know. 'Cause once you out here now, your family. Where else would you rather be? Where else would you rather be?
Welcome into the Nickel City Crew. I am your host, Rob Crippen. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Nickel City Crew. This episode, along with all of our episodes, are presented by Crippen Legacy Entertainment here on Spreaker and StreamYard. We're so glad that you're joining us for some of your Buffalo Bills and NFL content again today. And as always, these are my Bills thoughts said out loud.
It's a vibe so ridiculous. Since 12 plus 83 was 6. The shout rocking like a symphony. Where else would you rather be?
All right, let's get straight to it. Really excited for tonight's episode. The NFL season is creeping even closer. Preseason actually concludes this weekend. I know they had a couple games last night, and then by Sunday it's all over. And cutdown day next Tuesday. It's starting to get real, as the kids say. Joining me tonight, as always, riding shotgun, my co-host Adam Dump Truck Rupsick. Check him out on Instagram and Twitter at Adam Rupsick, RUPCZYK. Holla at the crew, DT. We're getting even closer, even than last week. We are almost there. Almost systems go.
Well into it. Welcome, Nickel City Crew. Rob, good to be back on another Friday. Beautiful day out here in the Buff. We finally got a little rain this week. We haven't had it in about a month. And then today was beautiful, beautiful way to end the Friday, and we're ready to rock. But shit, we're talking, what's today's date? The 22nd, well within a month till we're there, 8:30 p.m. on September 6th. Or September 7th, excuse me. And the boys got to be ready to go. It's a little weird. We've seen so much of this team this summer, but we haven't seen anything from this team, right? We've seen so much with Hard Knocks and training camp and our dive in, but we really haven't seen anything with what this team's really going to be and the starters and whatnot. So excited to kind of fill out this week. Excited for somebody to make a play as we go into the last preseason game and cut down. Cutdown day is a big day, Rob. I mean, they used to increment, right?
Yes.
After each game, and now we're bringing guys in on Monday just to make a team for the preseason, and they're getting hurt in practice. So it's a little wild, but cutdown day. Talk about an intimidating day. It's you are nothing, or you're making millions of dollars. That's quite the coin to flip, Rob.
Yeah, it really is. A lot of dreams will be realized or shattered at that point in time after Tuesday. So we'll see. And obviously good luck to all those young men who are chasing their dreams. Now, joining us tonight, our special guest, longtime friend of the show. I say that with affection and confidence because he's been a listener and one of my good buddies now, one of my Bills Mafia buddies for sure, and DTs as well. Joining us tonight, Scott Frey. Check him out on Instagram and Twitter at Scott M. Frey. That's Frey. Holla at the crew. Scott, what's good, man? Great to have you back, man. Glad to have you back.
I'm going to unmute myself now. We'll try that again. Like a rookie move there. Like I've never done this before. So good to see everybody. Holla at the Nickel City, the Buffalo people out there. It's good to see you guys. I was just kind of commenting before we get started. DT looking all crisp and shiny. Very nice at the end of a work week. Good to see you guys, man. It's been a long off season. And it's funny how you described that because we've seen a lot of stuff from the Bills, and it's all been in red, white, and blue, but none of it's had anything to do with starters. I'm dying out here. Like, what's it going to be? Particularly on the defensive side of the ball, man. I'm anxious to see it in action. So, good to be here again.
Well, you're talking about the defense, and it's interesting because the news out of the week this week is that DT, Scott, I guess Tre White came up gimpy the other night, and it's funny because there's no media availability, Bill's traveling down to Tampa for that final preseason game that you spoke about tomorrow night. We really won't hear anything, and we won't know anything pretty much until after the game at the earliest when Sean McDermott addresses the media. DT, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I was talking with Scott pre-show. I'm concerned because of the fact of what we call, depth. at that position. I know that Max Harrison went down, so he's going to have a ramp up. He might even start the season on IR and miss about 4 games. And as he goes through that ramp up period, DT, next man up would be Dane Jackson. That doesn't exude confidence for me. I'm a little bit worried for sure. Obviously we don't know. We're speculating that type of thing. But if Tre White is not able to go, he was winning that camp battle before Max went down. I don't know, man. That could be a sticky situation to say the least, man. It really could.
Interesting concept here, boys. It's a situation where we came in when we signed Tre White. Everyone said, "Oh, great, he's back. He fits this squad," but zero expectation. We saw kind of the decline and obviously the 2 major injuries on probably the second hardest position on the field behind the quarterback is the corner. You're guarding a dude that's bigger, faster, and stronger than you, and he knows exactly what he's doing, and the quarterback knows exactly what he's doing, and you got to go step for step with him and out-physical him and make plays. It's the second hardest job on the field other than literally being behind center, in my opinion. So he comes in, there's zero expectation, and then kind of we fall into the little bit of the glitz and glamour of it. Tre White, he's supposed to be here. He looks good in camp. He's finally back. He might have his final breakout. And I think we bought a little bit too much into that, and me included. I'm just as much guilty. I'm not saying this helps us by any means, but I think the expectations, everyone unanimously said they were low. And then all of a sudden now everyone's like, acting like he's kind of our all-pro corner again. And he goes down and we're screwed and all hell breaks loose. But in all reality, we weren't expecting anything from this guy anyway. So I fell into it. I kind of caught like, okay, Maxwell Harrison's out. Well, Tre White's here. He's been playing good in camp. We can kind of fill this void and play it with him. But now that he might be gone, we don't know yet. They're traveling. Like you said, they're traveling today. We don't know anything about the injury itself. I think it kind of just a snap back to reality for Mafia and Nickel City Crew of like, we didn't have expectation. And then all of a sudden now he's an all-pro and now he's hurt and we're screwed. Like, I'm not fully bought into that because I had zero expectation coming in.
Scott, now DT's right for sure. I definitely didn't have high expectations, but it's hard not to get. I think it's part of it is because the player that he is, and I love Tre White when he's here. He's literally right behind me, one of my favorite Bills. I kind of bought into it when Sal Capaccio was giving his updates. He's like, Tre was like the best player out here on the field. Now, it hasn't always been up. Sal even talked about it recently that it's kind of been an up and down, most recently the last week or two. But, I mean, I bought into it like, man, he's beating out this young rookie with all these, natural gifts. Like, okay, he could be the mentor. I'm ready for it. Let the rook kind of ease into his new job. Not to have him on the field, the rookie down. I just, I don't know, man. I regardless of what DT is saying, and I understand what he's saying, I bought into it, man. I was ready to see him week 1 against the Ravens, and now I'm getting a little bit nervous.
Yeah, my problem with takeaway Tre is I just love him. I'm a fan. And it's hard not to get hyped about it. I mean, I get it. He's lost a couple steps. He's never going to be the same as he was before his injuries. But knowing the system, knowing his heart, and having him as your backup cornerback too, which is literally like 4th on the depth chart.
Right.
And now he moves up to 2nd on the depth chart, and now it's possible he vaporizes for a period of time. Again, complete guessing at this point. We don't know anything. Right. But you do get that kind of, here we go again with some kind of critical defensive injury thing in your throat. And my problem isn't so much the loss of Tre White. It's what's behind him. It's not deep, man. It's thin. And Dane Jackson, like Jamarcus Ingram's probably the better athlete. And Sal had a great take on this, this morning on WGR and last night. It's like you almost have to play Dane Jackson because he knows the system. He's an outside corner, so mentally he gets it, but he's not as good a player as Ingram is, and you lose the flexibility you get with Ingram. So for me, it's more about what do we have to plug in Hairston and White's absence than, we just lost this all-pro corner. But, man, I absolutely sucked into the hype. Take away Tre's back, man. I want to see it for him. And, man, if this is another devastating injury, just how as a player, how much misfortune can you deal with?
Probably talk about retirement. You probably
would be awful.
Talk about the R word, DT. If it's something serious. Now, again, we don't know, and we're not sure about it. But there's a chance, DT, that if it is at all serious, you know, I don't even know if you want to go through another rehab, and I know that's tough for a lot of players to realize and to come to grips with. But if it's serious, then you might be thinking about moving away from the game altogether.
Yeah, and I mean, looking through, and we'll get it. We do a little roster dig in later. You know, we're going to get into this, but yeah, it gets pretty thin as we go through our defensive back room, and you know, there's names on here that you know are just not like. There's names filling out this roster that you have never we've heard of, but probably aren't even going to make the team. I mean, guys like Daquan Hardy, the pick out of Penn State last year, have not heard a peep all summer on him. You have your nickel guys obviously in, and then you know guys like Dorian Strong who are deep in the draft, Brandon Codrington who was playing because you know, and we got other guys returning now, not even him. So it gets real thin as you get through these guys, and you're right. I mean, but again, this goes to the preparation of now Harrison's down, now Tre White's down, now we got to make a move here. I think
I was just going to ask, do you think that we should do something? Do you think that we should go out and get Rasul, Stephon Gilmore? Do you think that that's necessary now at this point?
Yeah, I think for sure.
Yeah, if Tre's got a serious, hitch in his giddy up, then we have to think about Dane Jackson's not a 4, 5, 6 week answer at CB2. Just not it. So we got to pull the trigger on something.
Jamarcus Ingram played well last year. DBU. Let's go. DBU. And, and him, Cam Lewis out there. But he played well. I don't know. Maybe he's more of a game time guy. He's more, practice and reps. He's just he's fighting. And then you put him under the lights in the game and he just plays game speed and, just keeps up out of anxiousness, if you will. But the last episode of Hard Knocks, I liked Jamarcus Ingram. In the last episode, maybe I was like, damn, this dude is really just kind of holding on every play. It seems like he's all right, this is the play now.
He's trying to talk to himself. He's trying to. It's positive. It's positive energy. He's trying to.
And that's good. But it also, I don't know. That's not a. That's not a guy that's going to guard T. Higgins. Straight up every play. That's not your cornerback too, right? That's a guy that's a fill-in guy. So I think you definitely need to. We need to get on the market here and get a name in. Just to fill a void at least till we get it figured out on the back end.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I mean, I guess we'll know more after the preseason game tomorrow when Sean actually gets a chance to address the media. I'm sure he's going to be asked about Tre by the media members down there in Tampa, and we'll see what answer he gives. So we'll kind of just hold our breath until then. Bills play tomorrow. I think it's 7:30 down in Tampa. Last preseason game, starters are not expected to play. Josh Allen has already been noted by McDermott that he will not play. Thank God for that. So listen, this is the last game for a lot of guys. And what you talked about, DT, as we begin to transition to our roster projection is that, these are dreams that are being realized. Tomorrow is a night for, third stringers, fourth stringers to kind of make their move, to make their impression. And it's interesting because I actually like these games because you do see the intensity because they're fighting for jobs. They're fighting for their dreams. And I'm always interested to see, there's always a surprise guy that you didn't expect. Buffalo Joe last year. And it's like that every year where there's a guy that just comes through and realizes his dreams. I'm interested to see. I don't know if they're going to throw Curtis Samuel out there. They've been talking about it a lot this week and kind of the fodder that he needs some more reps. McDermott did say that Cole Bishop is going to play. I think that's good because he does need more reps, obviously being out with those injuries. Scott, anything that you're looking at tomorrow, other than obviously everybody getting out of there healthy, because it could be intense in respects to those guys fighting for jobs. But there's a couple guys in there. Curtis Samuel, maybe. I don't know. Bishop, he's caught a lot of shit this week.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how long they're on the field because I do think that it might be almost necessary for some of those guys to just get some reps.
I think so. I'm looking at Cole Bishop and Cam Lewis. Safety is a little. Just kind of I'm not, let's not use the C word like concern.
I am. That's
but
why
it's not all pro, man. And I really want to have faith that Bishop is just a bunch of reps away from where he needs to be because of his timeout with injuries. But I want to see Cam Lewis play. And I want to see Buffalo Joe have a little better outing. He just seemed on his heels for the first few drives against Chicago, just did not have his best day at all. And that happens. I mean, it happens. He's a young player. Mm-hmm. And then, the wide receivers, I want to see Elijah Moore, man. I want to see this guy do something. And Curtis Samuel, like just that situation just gripes me.
Okay.
And it's not a Curtis Samuel like fault, and it's not a Bean fault. It is what it is. But we got a couple nickels tied up in this dude, and you've seen little flashes, and he has a history of being pretty productive and a good receiver. Man, would I like to see that in a Bills uniform? Just like, could we please?
Yeah.
So those are probably the biggest things I'm looking at. The O-line is going to be, obviously the 2s and the 3s to see who's going to be the principal backups to the big guys up front. Same up front on the defense. And so, besides Bishop and the 2 wide receivers and Cam Lewis and Joe, the corner mystery is the only other thing I've got. Is like, okay, if it is going to be Dane, if there is a situation, get him in there and hope he holds it down. Okay.
DT, it's interesting because when we go to our roster projection, I see the defensive line as something that they have poured a lot of resources into. I'm actually now looking for the baby. You know what I mean? I'm looking for the results, and it's interesting. I'm a stickler on McDermott and things like that, but Bean has provided him with a lot of different weapons this year, and I'll be interested to see how it all works out. Now, obviously, we won't get to see too much tomorrow night, but DT, I'm looking for them to make an impact. There's not really too many places for them to hide, to be honest. And I know we'll talk about that later next week, but I'm ready to see the baby.
We need somebody to make a play. Rob and Scott. It's no plays all preseason. No plays. No plays. We need somebody to make a play. This is what the preseason is about. This is how you're going to earn your reps. This is how you're going to earn your time. So much invested in this defensive line. All these big MFers, these big dogs. And I talked about it last week. Like, we haven't heard shit. And last week, didn't do it any more justice. Nobody made a play. Nobody got up in anybody. And so this week, I think, is crucial for that. And I have a little hot take here. I'll bring it on Nickel City Crew.
Give it to us.
And, we'll see if I'm right or not. But I don't think we were planning on signing Gabe Davis. I think we brought him in to for guys like Elijah Moore and Curtis Samuel. Like, all right, we'll just go get Gabe Davis, and then your ass is cut. Like, there's literally only room for one of them, right? I mean, you got Keon's going to make the roster. You got Shakir going to make the roster. Josh Palmer's going to make the roster. Elijah Moore, Curtis Samuel, you bring Gabe Davis in, it's one of those guys that's getting clipped. So I think it's a philosophy thing of we haven't been making plays this preseason. Somebody has to, and it makes sense that he visited. I'm not saying it was all fabricated and we never thought about signing him, but I think there was some other intent with that as well. Like, we can bring somebody in and your ass is legit cut. Curtis Samuel gets a little tricky with the money, but at the same time, they're not just going to keep somebody on the roster that's going to hurt us. We're trying to win a Super Bowl. So I think it's a time where those guys got to make plays, but more importantly, this defensive line, I want to see one of these rookies have a sack, have a pass breakup, get some sort of energy from this defensive line that's full of giants. I want to see some plays for there. So sure, on the receiver side, one of them's getting cut. So on the other side, let's have some big plays on the defensive line.
Yeah, I haven't seen Landon Jackson's name even talked about at all. Like, throughout,
I think
camp. I was like,
Deion Walker, 400 pounds. Like,
yeah, I mean, he made one play in the one game, but that was about
Sanders. I've heard a little more about TJ Sanders than the rest, but very quiet. It just seems like it's chalk. It seems like it's chalk right now. It's going to be Ed Oliver, Daquan Jones, and and then these guys are going to rotate in behind him. But nobody's, as I've seen, has made a play in social media or on the preseason field.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Now, tonight's episode is presented by Taste of Buffalo Pizzeria down here in Huntersville, North Carolina. We appreciate Jen Battaglia and her family running a great pizzeria shop over there. Listen, if you're down here in the Charlotte area like I am, and you miss the Buffalo food where DT is, I promise you head on over there. Jen and her crew will take care of you for sure. Head on over to tasteofbuffalopizzeria.com. Check them out. They're in Huntersville. Again, I promise you, Bills Mafia, I promise you, Nickel City Crew, I would not steer you wrong. They always make me feel at home, and they definitely remind me of the great food that the DT gets a chance to enjoy. As we transition, fellas, okay, let's break out our depth charts. We need 53 men on this team. Injuries be damned. We've got the Bash brothers, Ogunjobi and Hoyt, that will be suspended, so they don't count against the roster, so you guys don't have to count them in. I guess we'll just start off, DT, and Scott. We'll go down the line. I mean, we'll carry two quarterbacks as always, right? I mean, I would assume we'll We're not really getting fancy or anything like that with 3 quarterbacks. It'll be Josh and Mitch, right?
I think so. Yeah.
DT, you concur?
You keeping tally? You need me to keep tally here?
Yeah, keep tally for me.
All right,
I'm trying to
I
as
feel
well.
like Mike White's going to roll out to the practice squad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's been around a bit. He can emulate some other offenses because he's been in some.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a good experience. And I think Mitch is probably the better backup. For Josh.
And that's his boy or whatever, and they're buddies.
It
seems like Josh gets what he wants when it comes to that.
And Mike White can be further away from Matt Milano on the practice squad, so that's always a plus for Mr. White. I still never forget that folded in half deal.
When
man.
he speared his ass, almost folded him like a lawn chair for sure.
Oh,
now,
sweet.
Running back, you got James Cook brought back on his deal. I see 3. I think Frank Gore, once again, second year, he's going to be on the practice squad. Obviously, he's capable. He dropped that ball last week, fumbled. I know that he's a little bit upset about that.
He runs hard, though.
He runs like his dad, man. He runs like his dad. Looks just like him and runs like him too, north and south. So I've got 3 running backs with Ray Davis and Ty Johnson as our third down back. Receivers, my favorite position. We already talked about the locks.
I think we got to go 6 here, boys.
Really?
I think we got to go 6. There's just too many names.
So
you got Keon, you got Khalil, you got Josh Palmer,
Curtis Samuel.
Let's see him tomorrow, man. That's so hard to call because he's. Okay. But I mean, the money you almost have to until you can't.
So
all right, we'll get him in. We'll get Curtis in.
You have to until you can't.
And then
Elijah Moore.
I want to see Terrell Shavers.
Elijah Moore's 5. Shavers is 6.
So that leaves like Christian Wilkerson, Gosnell, Hamler. You can see Chenault or Hamler on the roster on the kick return side.
What is Chenault?
I think 6 is pushing it. If it's 6, Shavers is out, and then they put Chenault or somebody in as the 6. Then Shavers out.
I really want.
I think it's 6 no matter what.
I want Shavers to be given a bone. Like if he's been here for 3 years, he's earned it. I mean, he makes plays. I want to throw him a bone. So let Codrington figure out the return game, DT. Let's put him on our Nickel City 353. Let's throw him a bone, man.
Got it.
All right.
Let's throw
Shavers
him a
in.
bone. All right,
Shavers in. 6 receivers. Shavers in. Now
tight
ends?
Tight end, we've got Dalton, Dawson, and then I guess Jackson Hayes has to because you drafted him as opposed to Davidson.
I have heard good things this summer. If anything, we have had some spark from this guy, blocking and catching from him. So
and the catching is all bonus with him because they signed him to block. But I feel like he's a project like Landon Jackson. He's got some raw material. We want to see what we can turn him into.
All right. So
3 tight ends.
Reggie Gilliam going to play fullback again.
Yep.
Yes, sir. The hammer.
All right. Offensive line is set. Left to right is Dion, David Edwards, McGovern, Cybo, and then Spencer Brown. And they carry 10.
What a story, man. Spencer Brown. Let's just say that for a second.
Oh, yeah.
2 years ago, we're ready to light this guy on fire and kick him to the curb, man.
With the back issues,
Now he's the biggest badass in Buffalo.
He's a steamroller, man.
Yeah.
He is.
Okay.
They're going to keep 10 or no? Did they keep 10 or 9?
I say 9 because we got heavy on the other side of the ball. So let's say 9.
So that's Alec Anderson. That's Cedric Granger or Vandermark.
Vandermark, I don't know.
He's hurt.
3 consecutive false starts.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah, that was a little bit yikes in the Windy City.
That's not how you earn a spot on the team, dude.
Yeah, but they need a backup left tackle, so he's going to be on the team. So I'll give Vandermark, Anderson, Van Granger.
I'm saying 9.
And Gable.
And Gable's my other Grable.
Yeah. What is he, Australian 9. Or British or something like that?
Something.
All right, he's something.
Yeah.
I heard his accent
That's
last
9.
week. All right, no problem. We'll flip to the defense. Right. You've got your front
D-line?
4. Yeah, we'll flip to the defense. We've got your front 4 of Rousseau, Ed Oliver, Dede, and then Joey Bosa, with backups of AJ, Dwayne Carter because you drafted him, TJ Sanders.
Dwayne Carter's in.
Yeah. And he's ahead of Larry Ogunjobi for now, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Well, we don't have to count those guys right now because
he's not on the list. TJ Sanders.
Sanders is in.
I still want to see him grab that top spot away from Daquan Jones, man.
It'll take some time. I think it'll take some time. Landon Jackson's making the team. Because of the investment? Okay.
Yeah.
I think because you
Landon.
drafted him. I feel like he's like a Spencer Brown
Epinesa.
type thing. We don't expect him to blossom for 2 years. Maybe he doesn't, but yeah.
All right. Well, then that means that you've got 8. They're carrying 10, right? Because Deion Walker's going to make the team, and so is Javon Solomon, right?
And you put Epinesa in there?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So I've got 10. Deion Walker makes the team. Javon Solomon makes the team as third stringers.
Yeah.
All right. Linebackers.
Yep.
We've got Milano, Bernard, Dorian Williams.
Yep.
Buffalo Joe.
Or
like
Shaq
him.
Thompson. One or the other.
That's tough right there.
Wait, Shaq Thompson over Buffalo Joe?
I like Buffalo Joe better. I know he had a rough outing in Chicago. I like he sticks his head in there.
And
he's kind of a missile.
Mm-hmm.
His run game is great. Yeah, and he plays special teams. So that's
I think it'd be between
how Coach
Shaq
McGee
Lawson
is with the multi-use thing.
I think it would be between Shaq Lawson and
not Shaq Lawson. What's his name? Shaq
Thompson.
Shaq Thompson and Ulofoshio. Those would be the last guys. They're fighting for a spot.
Yeah.
So that would give you what?
That drops Keontae Jenkins
linebackers?
and Jimmy Charlo.
That's Bernard.
8. Or is that 7 linebackers or 8?
Bernard, Milano, Dorian.
Buffalo Joe.
Buffalo Joe is 4.
Shaq and Ulofoshio is 6.
So they carry 5, right? They carry 5.
Yeah.
So one of those
guys
guys
is between Shaq and Shaq Thompson
Eddie.
and
Ulofoshio. Yeah. All right, no problem. Cornerbacks as of now.
Oh man.
You don't have to. We don't have to count Max right now because let's say you start him out on IR, he can be out the first 4 weeks. So we've got
that's
you can designate him
Sal thought that might be the case with him.
Yeah, so
you
got
Christian Benford.
Trey.
As it sits right now, I'm hopeful. Tre White.
You got Taron Johnson.
Yep.
Cam
Jamarcus
Lewis.
Ingram.
Cam Lewis.
Cam's listed as a
Jordan
safety.
Hancock.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I got to go with Hancock and Ingram over. Man, Codrington looked lost. Oh my!
Well, he's not really. I mean, he's a
on the
defensive
depth
back
chart
in name.
there, but yeah,
he's a defensive back in name
returner,
only.
Yeah.
He's a kick returner. So that'll be interesting. So how many you got there now then, DT?
That is corners. We're taking Harrison out. So you got Benford, White, Taron Johnson, Jamarcus Ingram,
Cam
Lewis.
How many is that? That's 5.
Dane Jackson.
Actually, Cam's a safety.
You're right. Let's replace Cam with Dane Jackson.
And then Dorian Strong, 6th-round pick this year.
Yeah. Was Ohio State or is he Virginia Tech?
He's Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech. Tough to cut.
Hancock's Ohio State.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Somebody gotta get cut then. Somebody got to get cut. That's too many.
5, 10, 15,
corners.
20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
They can't carry 6 corners, right?
No, 5. It's 5.
It's got to be 5 even with Max's injury. Because when Max comes back, you'll just drop off the bottom guy and let Max come back.
Hancock, Jackson. So that leaves off Ingram Strong. Ingram's making the roster.
He sure is. He's
They
making.
got to take 6 corners.
Do they?
Yeah.
I think right now they have to. Yeah.
Okay. Because of the injury, you mean? Because of Max?
Because you got to have 2 at each spot: 2 nickels, 2 outsides, 2 outsides.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So then we go to safety. You got
my least favorite position is Rapp and Bishop.
Yep.
Lewis and Hamlin.
Yeah.
And then
I think that's pretty clean.
Yeah, I think you can get rid of Forrest. Haven't heard a sniff of anything about him, and all the other guys are undrafted free agents.
Yeah.
Okay. How many is that then? Do we have enough for our special teamers?
That's 51.
Oh, okay. So you need a kicker, punter, and then you need the holder.
Oh, and
right?
Ferguson,
the snapper, Ferguson.
Yep.
So we got to
cut. We got to cut one
here. We got to cut one. Our first Nickel City crew cut. I'm going to the corner. I'm going to the cornerback room. I'd shave off from the cornerback room, or a linebacker.
I would shave a linebacker first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would go with 5 backers.
Yeah. Okay. I'm out. Yeah, you're probably just keeping chalk then. Buffalo, Dorian, Milano, Bernard. Who's the 5th?
Eddie.
And then you got to choose Shaq or Eddie. Yeah. Coin flip.
Yeah.
I just don't know that much about him.
Well, McDermott knows Thompson, so that might matter.
That might be the thing.
That might lean it that way because I know Eddie was a draft pick, but that might lean it to Shaq Thompson.
Captain, national champ, not national champ, but Final Four at Washington. That's 53.
53. The Nickel City Crew 53. All right. I like that.
And that leaves. That's actually, I was surprised by that. That's pretty chalk right there. There's not many like questions. It's Tyrell Shavers. That's the biggest question on this whole thing. Is Tyrell Shavers.
Shavers versus what? Chenault, right?
Chenault.
Yeah, I think that Shavers has done enough to get a shot. Like I think now he may not get a jersey every Sunday because they go down to 46 on game day, but I think he deserves game checks. I think that he deserves a roster spot this year and not just practice squad.
He's been a highlight in the camp. He's played well in the preseason games, and you got to remember, man, he's catching passes from the two.
Yeah, and what are you saying about meritocracy if you don't give him a spot because of the fact that that's what McDermott preaches. We'll talk about Nick. We'll talk about the Hard Knocks to wrap up the show. But I mean that's what McDermott talks about. You heard it, DT, last week. He's we talking about the Jimmy Charlo kid, like how you come in, you make plays, you earn your reps. I think that.
Well, he didn't make our roster. He didn't make our 53.
No, I know, but you know what I mean. Like
that's
he was earning reps, and I think that's kind of what
we could trim a little bit in the kicking hole here. We'll just let Ray Davis take the duties. Sorry, T Bass.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about that. T Bass,
I am too. I want to see him tomorrow night, man. I want to see him clean and strong tomorrow.
Yeah, he is.
He's back tomorrow. That's fine.
We better be just kick even on third down. Just take some kicks.
First down.
I like it. Listen, now as we begin to transition and start to wrap up tonight, it's funny because I know that you said you weren't able to get in on it, Scott, but man, Hard Knocks has been interesting. I'll say it that way, and I'm being kind because obviously it's the Bills. We're a little bit closer to them, but those first 2 weeks, DT, were brutal for me personally because I like the behind the scenes stuff. It was a slurp fest those first couple of weeks. Not much intrigue, not much behind the scenes at all. Last week, I have to say that was the best episode that they've done so far. I personally love the nuts and bolts. I like seeing how they make their cake. And we got a chance to see that, Joe Brady in his room with his coaches, and then the same thing with Bobby Babich in his positional room with his coaches. It was interesting to see. I really liked it. You talked about Jamarcus Ingram and stuff like that, but what did you take away from Hard Knocks? Because I really enjoyed the behind the scenes and how they talk football, how they talk to each other. That was one of the most appealing things about Hard Knocks back in the day when I was growing up watching it. It wasn't seeing the guys get cut. Yes, that's like a train wreck, and sometimes you can't look away, but I understand why they took a lot of that type of stuff out of their production. This is what it's about, the nuts and bolts. How do they talk football? How do they think of their team and stuff like that? I really enjoyed listening to Brady and Babich last week. I really did.
we get on Sean a lot on this show, and rightfully so, but I think his message, how they started the episode with his team address, right? And his message was basically what we were kind of in line with. Like, this is the NFL. Like, you're not guaranteed to be good every year. I mean, we kind of are because we have a cheat code and we have 17, but you are not guaranteed to be good every year.
That's right.
And that was his point. And he said, some guys I'm used to feeling, I'm not feeling.
Ooh, yes.
And that hit me because that's kind of where I'm at now. Like, yes, preseason pledge, I'm not freaking out, but like my whole thing leading up to this camp was like, good. There's a ton of open spots. There's a ton of guys. There's going to be a ton of competition. We're going to roll the ball out, see who the dogs are, and let's get after it. And we haven't really heard that or felt that. And I was pleased that Sean is also on the same mindset as me, at least in that of like, I'm not feeling people I'm used to feeling. So, let's we don't have that much time. We're literally a couple weeks away and a holiday in between of kicking off against one of the best teams in the NFL on Sunday night with 1 seed implications. Like, this ain't no ease-in schedule. This is 8:30 Sunday night. We better be ready to fucking ball.
Yeah,
and this team
matter in the end.
And so I like the messaging from that because that's how I was kind of feeling, and I hope that's kind of the mindset in like, hey, we might be under a little expectation right now. We might not be as aggressive as I want to be, but we still got some time to figure it out. We do have the cheat code at quarterback, so it will hopefully falter out. So I like that part of it. I also liked what you said, the insight of, the Joe Brady's and the Bobby Babiches of the world of like, when they were talking about coaching through the clip. I need you to coach through the clip. Like, not just the play and the speed and assignment. I need to see who's going over and helping their teammate up.
Yeah.
I need to see who's excited after a big play. And that's literally the difference. The game of inches and the difference in the culture building.
And the energy.
Exactly. And
Too
why
many
we are a
Sundays
different
we
team,
see
why
flat.
free agents continue to come here and say it's different. Yes, there's Josh Allen, but it's different in Buffalo. It's a culture.
I'm with DT on that, and the energy piece as he kind of fuzzes out.
Right.
That there's been too many odd, random Sundays, in the regular season where they come out and you're like, do these guys really want to be out here? Kind of looked a little bit like that in the Chicago preseason game. I don't care wins and losses in the preseason, but I didn't care for some of the cluelessness, out of position. I'm lost, no energy.
That's what I was going to ask you, Scott, because how do you balance as a fan the preseason pledge that DT talk? Anyone we always hear about on WGR, and Jeremy White, always admonishes all of us to make sure that we take that approach. How do you go about it? You know what I mean? Like, how do you as a fan go about it? Because to me, it's important, but everything can't be important in the preseason, but some stuff does fucking matter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's got to be a balance. And
I want to see guys making some plays, like playing sound football. I know the twos are out there. Like, I wasn't bothered that Caleb Williams shredded us up a little bit. Good for him. I was happy to see him have a good showing. I hope he has a good season. Didn't bother me so much, other than like Cole Bishop seemed kind of lost, and Buffalo Joe really did not play well. Those are the things that bother me, not so much score. And I want to see guys like wanting to be out there hitting people, fired up, picking each other up, running if somebody looks like they're hurt, getting over there, hey, okay, coaching guys up, like you said, coaching through the clip. That's what I want to see out of these guys, because there's been too many regular season games, just random weeks. They come out just flat. The Pittsburgh home opener was 2 years ago. Yeah, we came out and just got.
I drove all the way up there for that garbage, and I was
like,
so
how
mad.
does that happen?
People saying we paid 17 too early. Walking out. To me, it's an energy thing. It's a readiness thing, and that's my big gripe with that. I feel like that's what you establish in the preseason, aside from determining, like, okay, who's going to be, the next man up, who's going to be my roster, and that's what bothered me the most about Chicago. It's hard to sit and watch your favorite team look awful and get shellacked, but I know what that is, and I don't care. I just want to see guys, fighting hard and making plays, and that element seemed to be missing, even when it was our twos and their twos and our threes and their threes. We seemed like we were a step behind most of the night. It looked like we were against their ones all night. That bugged me. My thing is, what's to lose at this point, right? Like, it'd be different if it was like all preseason, everyone's making plays, and it's like, oh, I got to stay on assignment, or I'm getting outlasted and cut, and I'm putting bad film out there. But at this point, there's not a lot of good film from this preseason. So what do you have to lose? Like, going into tomorrow night, like, you take a risk. Even if you miss the play, like, you weren't making a play the week before. So I say it's like all hands on deck, desperation. Take some risks tomorrow. Like, what do you have to lose? Even if you take a risk and you get blown up, that's better than being mediocre and not making the roster anyway. Like, I'd rather take a full swing, man. I'd rather take a full swing at millions of dollars than kind of like, I don't want to do anything and ruin it, and you still get cut. So I need some desperado playmaking.
This is divisional round for the twos and threes tomorrow night. That's how I'm looking at it. Like, go or go home time.
Now,
literally is.
Now, shout out to our boy Sheed, a long-time listener. I really appreciate him. He asked us, and you saw that at the bottom of the screen, who specifically do you think is not having a good camp preseason? Who are we not feeling? For me, I'm gonna put my hand up, and it's not, you know what I mean? I don't think it's really controversial or anything like that, but and you talked about it earlier in the show, Scott. I thought that, like, Curtis Samuel was supposed to be something different, and I know that he is hurt, or whatever the case may be, but like for me, like, I don't care. Like, and I'm a fan, so I don't have to care. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to, dehumanize him or anything like that. That's not what I mean when I say that. But, like, get your shit together. Like,
and he's not on a cheap contract.
Like turf toe the first year. Yeah. Then you know what I mean? So, like, for me, it's like it's either between him or Bishop. And, like, and I know that they're both for injury, but, like, you need to be on the field. Like, and I don't know if you need to get in the ice tub more or be more pliable for soft tissues or whatever the case may be. But, like, for me, it's both those guys. It's Samuel and Bishop, like, I need you to play. And now at this point in time for Bishop, it's like you're supposed to be the starter. And you're a second round pick. Everybody's praising you. I didn't see it last year. I know that he came on a little bit stronger at the end of the year, but like I can remember the Houston game getting burned over the top. Then you see him in Chicago almost tripping over DeMar on that play where he gets burned right off the line of scrimmage. Like, I don't know, man. Those two guys for me, to answer your question, Sheed, they're right in my focus, man. I need Curtis Samuel to play. I don't necessarily need him to be the backfield option, all that other stuff. I know he's got a lot of different tools in his toolbox, but like, can I just get you on the field, man? Like, what's up?
Availability is the best ability, man. And at his price tag,
yes,
that is getting painful. But I know Brandon's got the cojones. I mean, we did a little $31 million dance with a certain wide receiver. And we saw the other side of that. We got through that okay last year. So it can be done. Not ideal, but
who are you watching? Who is not lived up to your expectations that you might have personally had for to start? Anybody that comes to mind?
For me, it's Cole Bishop, and again, it's hard to get on him because of the injury. But again, availability being the best ability, it feels to me like it's
time.
Cole Bishop. I'm going up and down this roster, and Elijah Moore's been quiet. That to me has been a head scratcher. Like, where is that dude, man? I need him.
All the other night, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, I need him to have a thing tomorrow. Like, I need to see 18 going. Oh, there he is. I need to see that. That's going to be disappointing if he kind of fuzzes out on us.
Anybody that sticks out to you, DT?
That's mine. 18 is mine. Okay. Elijah Moore. Like, it's really you make the roster. You don't. I think at this point, because we can make room for Chenault to return. We can make room for Shavers now, and Brandon Bean bust out the WGR crew and then signs Elijah Moore later that day and says, hey, this is.
But then he brings in Gabe Davis this week.
It was pretty positive.
Davis, yeah.
Well, he brought in, that was all gamemanship, as I said.
Jeremy's like, what do we do?
Yeah.
I just,
and I don't want to, that's another thing with Jeremy White. We'll get into that off air. I'll tell you about that. But we got some things going on with that right now. And
oh my God! I mean, listen, but the wide receiver train is undefeated. I mean, I understand it took a ding last year, and then Brandon wants to call the show and make us look like assholes. But the wide receiver, listen, the passengers on the wide receiver train, we are not deterred. We want weapons
and Coleman only goes up from here, man. Only up from here, man.
Coleman that's quietly TDs. Been a nice thing. Quietly been a nice thing.
He might be the camp MVP, right? I think we could safely give him
zero
camp MVP.
0 minutes, 0 seconds on Hard Knocks.
Yes,
that's fine. I don't want to see him on Hard Knocks.
Hopefully they'll get him in before the show is over. I mean, listen, for me, he's the one name that you hear almost every day. Highlights on Twitter, Instagram, stuff like that. That only means so much because every team puts out the highlights. But
is when I want to hear about Keon Coleman.
I understand, but he has been building a rapport with Josh, and what DT said last week was true. I think that Josh has been force feeding him a little bit in camp to make sure that he's building up that confidence that you are that guy. You can be that alpha. Not necessarily wide receiver one in name, but you know what I mean when I say that.
Yes,
like he's trying to bring out that dog in him that I know that he has, and I think that it's intentional. And I think that a lot is kind of riding on it. We talked about it early in the offseason, Scott, and you probably heard it on the show. It's him or Kincaid. Like it's
86. I was going to say,
man. Like what do you?
Can you imagine the productivity we had last year on offense? And Cookie was a huge part of that, right, Jimbo? But if you can imagine getting 0 and 86, like a 35% increase in production where they should be, on top of what we had last year, good luck, the rest of y'all.
Yeah,
here we go.
I think it's put up or shut up time, DT, for 86. And you know that how I feel about him and that pick. You know what I mean? I wasn't in favor of it, but I kind of gave Brandon Bean some grace, DT, because of the fact that the wide receiver run went right before that pick. So I gave him some grace, but I need to see all of the things that you envisioned with this matchup nightmare and a flex receiver almost. And don't think of him as a tight end. I really kind of need to see all of it come up to fruition this year, DT.
And I don't want to hear about how that was previous offensive coordinators pick Ken Dorsey because he wanted to be in 12 personnel. I don't want to hear about that.
I had my first fantasy football draft last night.
Okay.
Shout out to the league is called Fuck Tom Brady. That's what the league is called.
Nice.
It has been for years. And 12-person, good people in it. And I went with Tyler Warren, the tight end from Indianapolis, the rookie, the beast from Penn State. And he's a rookie, so late in the draft, I'm looking for some tight end depth. Who can I get to put on my bench that would help? I couldn't even scroll to find 86.
Because he had been taken
down at the bottom.
He's like the 400th ranked player in fantasy football.
They are fast asleep on 86.
Do you think
He's not even on the page. Like he's went undrafted.
He was my sleeper tight end 3.
Wait. So Scott, you're ready for it. This is his coming out party.
He was my sleeper in fantasy, and somebody got him ahead of me that didn't know what they were doing, which really pisses me off. Right?
But you're expecting big things.
I was going to grab him because I think he's going to be one of those guys that lights up the fantasy board this year. The whole fantasy world is snoozing on him.
So
I hope. I hope.
Touchdowns, all that.
I'll put that down in ink as a hot take, man. I think
that is your hot take.
All the comparisons are at 87. All the comparisons are at 87. Right.
Kelsey,
so we need some 14 target, 15 target games.
Yeah.
Man, I am not holding my breath on that.
I don't know about that many targets. I just need to see him play cleaner and separate and do that magic thing that he's supposed to be good for.
And then the funny thing is that they said that he created separation, that he was open last year, but Josh missed him a lot. And
Josh did say he did.
He got him hurt. Bashed his knee up on the overthrow.
Yeah. So I know that's kind of taboo to talk about Josh in a negative light, but they didn't.
He says it himself. He says he's got to do better for 86. So it's hard.
Side note on 86, Chef Cuso, Rob, your boy. You said you know him, Chef Cuso. What a badass that dude is. That I wish I did that. I'm just like sick. I smoke meats and hang out with the Bills. That'd be awesome. But Chef Cuso, I can't even tell the difference between him and 86 when they pop up on my social media. I'm like, is that Cuso or is that 86? They look exactly the same.
You think they look alike? Cuso's got a lot more facial hair than 86.
He's a little more Italian.
Yeah, absolutely. That's funny. Now, as we begin to wrap up tonight, the Nickel City Crew Tailgate Report is presented by Queen City Vintage. Check out Queen City Vintage. They got a great site. Our boy Nick running a great storefront right there on Elmwood across from 40 Thieves. Check out Queen City Vintage. They are sponsoring our giveaways once again this year, starting right before week 1. Listen, check them out. They've got all the vintage Buffalo Bills and Sabres threads that you need, as the kids say, all the cool jackets and shirts and hats and yada, yada, yada. Listen, check them out. They got a great storefront. We're still patiently waiting their arrival on Hard Knocks DT, but I can't wait for them to pop up on an episode, one of these last couple episodes. Listen, what are the plans tonight? We'll give it to our guests first. What are the plans for the weekend, Scott, out there in Ohio? I know that you said it was rain. You said that the weather was good down there, or what?
Yeah, it's nice, so man. The temperature finally broke, and we got into the 70s for highs the last 3 days, and it's dry as a bone. So it's probably going to be patio, beverages, and fire tonight.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And then going to watch the Bills play Tampa tomorrow night. Little foreshadowing, way out there tailgate, but I'm going to be buying me some tickets this weekend to come to Buffalo. And see the Bills host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in November.
All right.
Nice.
Well, Scott, you better get my number then, man.
Yes.
I'll show you what's up, dude.
Yeah, I'm going to bring my son out, who's rich. I don't know how this happened. I'm not even going to untake. This is why I have this kooky thing behind me, because there's a picture of your league namesake on the door, because I'm in my son's old room. Yeah, it's that bad here, man. But anyway, that's my weekend, man. I'm just anxiously awaiting news from Takeaway Tre, knowing he's going to be just fine. He probably stubbed his toe, and everything's good, man. I love that dude, man, and I want to see him, have a great season.
I do too. DT, what have you got on the slate out there at 3:30? Lyndon, what's good out there, man? What you got?
I said, a beautiful in the Northeast, beautiful up here in the Buff today. Last week, Grandma's 100th birthday party. We were teasing that. That was awesome, man. Inspirational. That was great.
Marv Levy.
Yep, exactly. And there was probably about 150, 200 people at this party. It was awesome. It was a good time. So shout out to Grandma for, a great 100. I said, this is the only 100th party I've ever been to and probably ever will be to. So congrats, Grandma, on that. So shout out Grandma Willa, 100 years.
That's awesome.
She big Bills Mafia, got all the ladies in her home she stays at. They all get out there at 1:00 or whenever the Bills are playing, and she point guards them and says, my grandson has a podcast. You got to come watch Josh Allen.
Tell me they're going through tables, man.
Drop it on. So that was great. this weekend we're rocking. Got a little, I don't know what to call it. Nice little
Soiree.
night. Nice little soiree tonight. Hitting out on the town with a few people and enjoying it.
Right.
Little blonde hair, blue eyes, enjoying the night.
Very nice.
And taking one of my favorite spots. So we're gonna have a good dinner and enjoy the Friday. Tomorrow, I know we just had this talk about the bachelor party, Rob. I know we said I'm getting old and I can't do it anymore. And
that's what you said. I didn't say it.
I did say it because I felt it, and it's 2 weeks later, and I feel like I'm not 100% yet. But tomorrow is our annual Olympics. My boy BT, Billy Thomas, big season ticket holder of the Bills, has a big shindig every year at his house. He's very into it. We pick teams in the week. You have a partner.
Okay.
And it's type of a beer / summer like game Olympics, right?
Okay.
So you have a bunch of different events. You play the events
like a shotgun contest, stuff like that.
Or like even yard games, can jam, cornhole, and then you do a little beer pong, a little flip cup. There's different games, right? We play
DT Olympics
with your partner. You have a wheel, right? A handicap wheel. And you have to, before every event, you have to spin this wheel. And on this wheel is all things that will handicap you for the event, right? So there's a oven mitt. You have to wear an oven mitt if you play. You have the T-Rex arms. You got to tie your arms together so you can only use your arms like this. There's tie your feet together. You have to hold a 20-pound dumbbell over your head as whatever you're playing. So
oh Lord.
So that kind of evens the playing field and makes it fun. And
absolutely.
We bring everybody out of retirement. There is some grown ass men at this thing for the once a year. One afternoon, we do it every year, and that's tomorrow. And then I'm going to try to get a few swings in because I know when that ball kicks off and the leaves start falling, my golf game just goes away because I'm focused on ball. So try to get some swings in on Monday. Tonight out on the town a little bit. Tomorrow the Olympics.
Very nice.
Packed up.
I like that. I like that. I like that idea too. That sounds really cool. So I definitely.
It is. It's a great time. It's a great time. He does all the brackets. It's all ahead of time. It's all online. He's got the brackets out. He's got the team pick. He does he picks the teams live with witnesses, and so you're always with somebody else, and it's a good time.
That's really cool, man. I do like that idea. That's really cool. So please enjoy it. Don't get hurt out there. Nickel City Crew. I've got football season is here. I think I told you last week, my middle king, Nate, was QB1 for his 11U team. They are the Lake Norman Giants, so I am really excited about that.
How'd the scrimmage go? How'd the scrimmage go last week?
The scrimmage was a little touch and go. The offensive line is working together. I literally, after practice last night, I saw the head coach at the gas station. I was like, man, don't get my baby hurt now out there with those offensive linemen. Now,
keep them upright, baby. He was like, keep the merch upright.
He was like, listen, we're teaching them to block down. We're trying to simplify everything for the offensive linemen. So, they're 11 and 12-year-olds, that type of thing. Yeah. So you're trying to keep everything simple. So they've got their first game tomorrow, Giants against Patriots. We're at home right around the corner. Right, so I'm really excited about that.
Go get them.
The jerseys look clean. Everything looks clean. So I'm hoping that he stays clean tomorrow. I don't want.
What number we got for Nate?
His jersey hasn't come in yet, but I think he's wearing number 2. I'm pretty sure that he's rocking 2. Yeah, he likes 23 because of his birthday. So that quarterbacks don't wear 23. So I think he's wearing.
I like 2. 2's clean. 2's clean.
Clean. So listen, I don't want my baby to get hurt. I get anxiety. I didn't coach him this year. I told you that, DT. I'm not coaching him. Not trying to make him extra nervous or anything like that. So I'm just a regular parent. I come in the stands, sit down, shut my mouth, and watch.
All right. Well, good luck. Good luck to Nate and the Giants and tomorrow. And how was the 40th, dude? How was the 40th
not to
birthday?
Listen to the social media after the game and all that.
No outside noise. No outside noise.
The 40th was good, man. It was nice. I appreciate all of the birthday wishes on Facebook and stuff like that from people. So it was cool, man. Hung out with the kids, pool, all that type of stuff. And then got something to eat that night, man. But it was low key. I didn't go crazy. It's a Sunday. It's a little bit different when it's a Sunday. It's not like you're going to party on a Sunday or anything like that. But I've got some stuff lined up and planned up. But I'll let all my hair down for the tailgate for the home opener. That'll be the unofficial birthday party for me for my 40th. So you guys can have some fun with me there. But it was slow motion with the kids, man, at the pool. We had a good time, man. So that's cool. When you get 40, you're not clubbing anymore or anything like that. So I didn't hit the clubs up or anything like that on a Sunday, but I really did have a good time. Listen, I appreciate both of your time tonight, Scott. We always appreciate you coming on.
Great to be here again, guys.
You always got great insight, and we do appreciate you bringing us some time. and sparing some of your time on this weekend. Listen, Nickel City Crew, we appreciate all the listeners out there, all the different platforms. We really do appreciate it. It's a TGIF. You could be doing anything on your Friday, and we appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Listen, DT, it's close. It's almost here, man. After Saturday, you're gonna be like, holy shit, we're about to play the Ravens in a couple weeks. Like it's almost here, DT.
Come on.
It really
and
is.
Everybody knows it, Rob. Everybody knows it. We're, in always looking, to get. We're going to this game. Obviously, we got set up, but like people post on Instagram, hey, selling opener tickets. Hey, hey, what's the deal on them? See if we get a deal. 500 a piece.
Yeah, oh my
600
God.
a piece.
Yeah.
Hey, Minga. So it's everyone knows this is a ball game. This is a ball game in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
17 and the boys best be ready.
Yeah.
And
That side of the ball I'm not worried about, man. I'm just not.
You're not.
Yeah.
The
That's
offense? No, this is the defense.
And that's
I
Rob.
just wanna
That's your
see it.
point. Score 50 and fuck it.
Score 40, man. Just fuck it, man. I'm so sick of talking about McDermott in the defense. Just go score 40 and never even be in a position where you're in a close game with those guys, man.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes, man. Listen, I appreciate both of your time tonight. Listen, out there, spread love, not hate. These were my Bills thoughts said out loud. Please hit them with the Go Bills.
Go
Go
Bills.
Bills, baby.
1 and 2.
Here we go.